Good morning or good afternoon, as the case may be. This is our February Science Saturday activity where we're going to build a solar robot. What I have found as I've started putting this robot together is that it's a lot more work than we can get done in just one session. And so I'm going to do this asynchronously, meaning I'm going to record all of the parts to building the robot, and then you guys can watch them as you need them. And then as long as you send a picture of your robot to Tammy before the end of February, which will be the 28th, and today is the 16th. So you've got 12 days, almost 2 weeks. You will be able to get credit for your Science Saturday activity. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you because I need for you to see. I need for you to see what I'm working on so that you can get some understanding of what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm actually at this point going to turn do this. I'm being a little distracted. Hang on a second. Okay, I think I've got it now, except that I don't want to cancel the meeting. Okay, so you're getting a box, or you have already gotten a box, depending on where you are, because we had to cancel my visits to the Christian County and Hopkinsville students. But you're getting or are going to get very quickly a box that says Solar Robot Creation Kit. And what I want to do is take it apart for you so you can see everything that's in it, and then show you my progress and give you some hints. And then this will be a very short video, and then we can move on to the next part of it. Okay. All right. So when you get the box, you can see I've got pieces and parts already out. These are the things that are going to come in your box. So I'm going to open this up so you can see what's in here. When you get the box, you're going to get a kit full of things. Okay. The first thing you've got is a package that's got 4 or 5 different plastic grids that have got all your little individual parts. And then you are getting an instruction booklet. And this is why I want to do this in parts, because the instruction booklet is not as clear as our Kiwi crates are. And so I want you to be able to see what I'm doing with those things. You should have a set of cutters. These are what we call diagonal or spruce cutters. And you'll notice when you look at the blades that they're kind of tilted a little bit instead of being flat and straight like a pair of scissors. And this is so that you can move these blades right up against a piece and cut that piece right at the edge rather than having to be out farther away from it. So those are going to be really important. And then you've got another package that's got several different things in it. I'm going to open it up. Some of those things we won't use today, but you'll have them available to you when you want to take this robot apart and build another one. So you've got some bags that have got some different pieces in them. This is your solar panel. You would not think that that little bitty tiny panel would be able to absorb enough energy to make a robot run. We're going to find out whether or not that's true. This is just a housing piece. I think it's based on the sticker that's got the little lens looking eyes on it. This is probably going to make the piece that looks like the top or the head of our robots. You're going to have a package that's got some gears in it, and there's a gear shaft and some foam pieces in there. And then we've got a set of stickers, and those stickers are, I think, probably decoration and identification pieces when we start to build the robot, and I'm not there yet, so we'll figure that part of it out. This plastic piece is actually we're going to fold those in the shape of a boat, so that is going to give us a hull for a boat, because we can actually build a solar robot boat. And so those pieces are in there as well. Then the last thing that you've got in your kit is a set of stickers with pictures of individual parts on them, and a Ziploc bag full of Ziploc bags. Okay, so when you look at that set of stickers and you look at the directions on your booklet, which are not quite as easy to follow, again, like I said, as our Kiwi crates are, it's going to tell you that when you turn over to page 5, it's going to say you've got a lot of little different parts. Take your stickers, and on each one of your bags, and you should have 9 of them, you're going to put one of those stickers. Okay, so if I peel that first one off, I'm just going to put that on there to label my bag. And that way I'll know which parts are in that bag rather than just having a giant Lego box full of Legos parts. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with those. And then what did I do with oh, here they are. They're in here. Then there you've got a set of 4 rubber O-rings. I'm not sure, but I think those are going to help us have some tread on wheels when we use them to prevent some slippage, to prevent or create some traction for us. I don't know that yet because I haven't gotten that far, but that's what I think it is. Okay, so those are all the pieces in your book. And for this first video, the only things that you're going to need are, are your book, your cutters, your plastic bags, and your stickers. And then you're going to need also this package that has all of these plastic grids in them, okay? So I'm actually going to take all of this stuff because these are not, I don't want to take any of these apart just yet. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to set them over out of the way so that they are not interfering with what we're working on. And then I want to show you what you want to do. My office has turned into it looks like a bomb has gone off in here. It's a nightmare. I can't find things, but I do have my desk cleaned off so that we can at least do the parts of this building. Okay, so if you'll look, I have already started taking pieces apart, and I've been doing this for about, I've already been doing this for about an hour now, where I've been cutting pieces and then putting them in each of the individual packages that I need. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you is that when you look at these grids, you're going to find either a corner or a piece, side piece somewhere that's going to be labeled with a letter. And that letter is going to kind of correspond to our part pieces. Let me do this. I'm going to focus that in again. Okay, so if you'll look right there on this one, it says an A. So this is our A grid. When you turn this one over and you look at it, right there is the B grid. Okay, so the blue grids are A and B. The black grid, gotta find it now because I lost it the first time I looked for it. There it is. The black grid is the C, okay? And it is hard to see because that one was scuffed up when I got it. So that one's our C. And then we do not have a D grid. This is our E grid. And you can see that one actually pretty well right there, okay? And so when you get ready to take these apart, look at what it tells you on page 5. It says many parts look the same and locating them while assembling your project can be difficult. We've provided resealable bags along with labels to assist in sorting and storing the parts. Apply the labels to the bags and sort the parts as you receive them or as you remove them, okay? All right, so once you get those bags labeled, then you know which parts need to go in them. And so I'm moving back over here. I'm gonna leave my book alone for a little bit. I've already done all of my bags except for one of them. So here are all my different bags. with their different parts. There's one of them. There's a second, and all I'm doing is looking at the pictures on the stickers to tell me what I need to put in that bag, okay? All right, so I've got 8 bags in there. I've got them all sorted out. Hopefully that's gonna help me when it comes time to start building. And now I wanna show you what I'm working on for this bag, which you can't see again because of the glare. So let's move this down just a little bit. And let me come over here and turn off the lights on the camera. Okay, so E14, it says that there are 16 of them, okay? And so when I come to my grid and I start looking, then I'm gonna look for the place where it says E14, okay? And so on my grid, let's put some white here so you can see it. On my grid, this row and that row are the E14s, and I'm gonna cut those apart, okay? And so I've already cut 2 of them, and you'll notice that I've cut them flush to the edge of the piece, okay? That's what a spruce cutter does for us. So when you get ready to cut these things, the little tiny plastic tab that keeps it attached to the grid, you don't want those little pieces, okay? And here's the thing that I have found out. When you use your cutters, that slanted side always wants to be against the piece where you're cutting, okay? So if I want to cut this plastic and not have any of it attached to my piece, I'm going to put that bent side, that diagonal, right up against it, okay? And I had already cut the other side of this, and so that's why those are dropping out. They're kind of hard to do with your 50-something-year-old eyes. When you get finished cutting those things, then what you should see is all those little tabs are still attached to the grid. And so I've come over here and I've done a lot of cutting over here, and you can see there's little pieces that are attached, and I didn't want those pieces on my robot pieces. And so I'm going to cut right to the edge of the equipment piece, the little pin or the knob, whatever it happens to be. Okay, so I took care of one of those. And I'm going to do the other 8 just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry, not 8, 7, because there's 14 of them. And so I'm just going to go in, and because I don't like turning back and forth, I'm just going to go on this side, and I'm going to cut all the way down through there and get all of those taken care of. And just slide in that pair of cutters right up against the piece. And so then when you look at those, I've cut all of those pieces, okay? And then I'm going to come back and turn it around, and then I'm going to cut the other pieces. And you can see where I've bent them now. There's a little bit of discoloration. It kind of stretches and bends them, and that causes them to, makes it able for you to see that white bend in the piece, okay? Like I say, I've already been working on this for an hour, so this is not something that we all want to do together, right? You want to get these things cut apart and ready to go before we ever start building. So trying to do that live on Saturday morning when it's all of us together, it's kind of a hard thing to do. And so we will do this part individually, and then you can work at your own pace. And really the nice thing about this is that with it recorded, you can stop and go back and watch a part when you need to, and then skip forward or you know, walk away and leave it and come back to it, whatever you need to do. All right, so the next part that we want to do is B7, and there are 2 of them. So I'm going to put E out of the way just for a second. And I've got 2 blue things here. And E7, I want those little daisy wheel gears. And so this one, and then there's another one right there. And so I'm going to just cut those apart. Again, I want to try to get these so that they're as close to the piece that I want as I can, so I don't have any extra plastic. But here's what you want to think about. If you do get to a point where you cut a piece and you've got excess plastic on it, like I just cut that one, and you can see that little extra piece on there. Just go back and use your cutters. And if you feel like you didn't get your cutters close enough, then it suggests that you get an emery board or a nail file, and you can go back and smooth that spot, okay? So if you've got pieces as we continue to build that are not fitting well together, you can use an emery board for that. Now the instructions say that we've got an emery board in our kit, but I haven't found it yet. So maybe it's in yours and not in mine. But hopefully you know somebody who's got an emery board or a nail file somewhere where you can borrow it. Okay. All right. Then one last part on this one that I need in this bag is E9. And there should be 6 of them. Going back to E. And you have to look at them really carefully. But I only have one set of pieces left. And this is labeled as a 9. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So those are the last pieces that I need to cut apart to put into the bag. Okay. And these little pegs have 2 prongs on them. So you want to be sure that you get that little plastic attachment knob cut flush with the pegs. And then you also want to make sure that things don't go flying away across the table or the desk, so that you can keep hold of them. All right, this grid is empty now. I don't need anything else from that one. But when you look at your other 3 grids, you'll notice that you've got other parts on those. And so those parts will cut apart as we're building things, okay? So now I've got all 9 bags of parts, and I'm gonna leave you alone for a little while. You're gonna come back and start watching the next video once you get all of your pieces cut apart. But keep in mind, remember that you've still got pieces on this tray. This is your A tray. So you've got this and these 2 pieces. Those look like those are going to be parts of your body module assembly. And you've got these little pieces as well on this one. When you look at grid B, you almost think that it is empty too, but you've got one little piece right there that we're going to need, and then 2 little knobs that are marked as plus and minus, so that you can know whether it's positive or negative charge at that connector. And so we'll need those 3 pieces off of there, and then we've still got 4 or 5 pieces here. So I think that's probably another part of our assembly. That is going to be a piece, that is, and then you've got 3 pieces here, okay? But don't cut those apart until we get ready to use them. We want to make sure that you keep track of which ones are which, okay? So that's what I want you to do right now. We're going to stop the screen share. If I can get my screen to open back up, which I don't seem to be able to do, and I don't know why. We'll work on that in a minute. We're going to stop the video here, and then you will be able to get your things and put them in your bags, get them cut apart as you need for them to be, and then you'll be ready to watch part 2 of the video. Okay, so it took me about an hour to cut all those pieces apart, but I have old tired hands, and so you may be able to do that a little bit quicker than I did. Okay, all right, have fun cutting. I'll see you in the next video.